Testing, testing. Okay. Hello, people. How's it going? We'll start in about 2 minutes, I guess. We'll just give people a little more time to get here before we start. Just a couple more seconds. Just a couple more seconds. All right. Is it possible to build bad software in this language? Yes. Oh, you better believe it. And once we make it available, I'm sure a lot of that will happen. All right, let's talk about, I got to restart my bad software console because every time I type a line now, it's going to say attempt to index a nil value. Looking garbage. Oh, I should try just, instead of restarting, I should try just respawning console in the same window next time. It's like all this thing is a wrapper around something called Commander, and they can't even do the wrapper. I don't know. I don't understand. All right. All right. So, when last we left off, we had done some gameplay testing. Let me go to some simpler levels. So we did some testing where I'm able to record a playthrough for any individual level, and I can hit Control-T, and it'll like replay that and tell me if the test succeeded or failed. Like it succeeded if I win the level by playing back the moves. So we have all this. So that's fine. Now, between the last stream and this one, I did one additional thing. Well, I did several smaller things, but one thing that I did, which was I added the ability to undo and it works. So if I'm recording and I undo some moves, well, I had a choice about how to implement that. One would be to just unrecord those moves, right? And the other would be to record the undo so that during the playback, you make the mistake moves and then undo them. And I decided to do the latter because it stresses the game more, and we want to test undoing. So if I play this level, I'm going to die several times. I mean, you can sort of barely see it happening, but where's a level with more deaths? I don't know. Well, this level certainly has mistakes, but you know, we do them and undo them. I don't know. There's undos happening. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. However, that doesn't let us test everything, because, for example, on these levels, we have a key that we press to activate mirrors and stuff, and we don't do that yet. We don't record that. So I have two objectives today. My first objective is to record activations like this, right? And be able to play them back. So I want to be able to save and record gameplay for all these mirror levels. So that's objective number one. Objective number two, once that's done, is instead of a level by level playback like this, where I have to restart it every time, I want to then just have a batch test that goes and runs every test at once and then reports which ones failed. And while I'm doing that, I might as well do a soak test, which is just, it runs until you shut it down for days and days. We're recording inputs. All right, so I went in here before and I said, well, these test moves that we record, they have a move type, a delta or undo, and now I'm going to have activation. Or is it activate? I don't know. Activate, I'll make it a verb. So we can have a thing called activate. And I'm just going to look for every place that has undo. So this is where we're loading. And I'm just checking the first character. So if it's A, oh, we don't need this do delta. We'll get rid of that. Oops, we need a quote. Okay, so we just do that. Now, here we have test do one undo, and I'll say test do one activate, and this just says it's activate. Right, oh. Have I ever thought of making a AAA game in the vein of Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice? Going mainstream but being a bit subversive, edgy? No. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? It doesn't make any sense. All right. So when we activate, I guess I'll say if currently recording test, let's pad these out to some place. If, oh wait, it's not C, it's X. If currently recording test do one activate. Now, okay, this is a little bit goofy anyway, because this activate should be buffered and it's not. So whatever. I'm going to factor this out. I'm going to factor this out. Activate. Because we need to call it from the undo system. I mean, I could just... See, this is a thing where we're a little bit recording semantics. We're not exactly recording inputs. If I were just recording inputs, then maybe this would even be a little bit simpler. But that's not quite what we're doing. All right, so we make an activate. All right, and then if this is an activate, all right, I don't know, maybe that's enough. Which world is this? All right, so let's record. All right, let's see if we can play that. It doesn't like that. Okay. Why not? I don't know. I don't know. All right. Well, we have something to look at. It's probably something dumb. Is it called mirror aisles? It's called mirror. All right. So we've got a Visual Studio here to run this from, and on a playback. Guy is null. All right. Why is that? That's about where the activate is. The delta is 0, but it's marked as delta, so that's not correct. Let's look at the save file. Oh, I didn't save. Wait. I never wrote out the word activate. No wonder. So we were like skipping, I don't know what we were doing. All right, let's try it again. Record. We'll run all around the island and then come back. Okay, unrecord. Go back, play it. Yeah, all right. Let's just record a bunch of these then. Spoilers, if you haven't played this game, I'm just going to crank through it, so don't look if you don't want to be spoiled on the good game. God, this guy moves so slow. We need to fix that. Oops. Oops. Okay, that I might have fucked something up there. Let's re-record that one. The thing is, undo right now saves undos while things are falling, and because I pushed the mirror into the water, it was falling, and that's a bug that we're going to fix later. So our response to undo will be different later. So that is why I'm thinking. Spoilers. All right. I want to get one with clones. Let me just try a few of these that I just did. All right. Let's get one with some clones in it. Like this one, maybe. Oh, wait, reset. Start recording. Do not forget to start recording. Uh-oh. Oh, I accidentally made his fourth guy. How did I do that? All right. Play that back. All right. Didn't work. How did I push the mirror into the water? Well, let's try that again. Maybe so. When I start recording, I don't reset the level, but that also might have been an undo bug. I don't know. Let's just do it again, and we'll see. All right. Huh. Something about clones breaks the recording. But I'm just going to write that down as an interesting bug because it doesn't affect the majority of the levels. We're going to have to investigate where that desyncs, though. All right, so this is good enough for our purposes. Activation works. You know, like I said, there's some problem with clones, but we're going to deprioritize that for a bit. Add some. We have enough levels now. Plus, I also did some between the streams. So, whoops. That was not right. I saved some of my Emacs junk files. All right. So then let's check in the source. Not an undo, in gameplay test recording. All right. So the next step is we want to do a batch mode. So I'm going to go into developer.keymap here, and Control T is to test the level, and we'll say Control B is test batch. And we'll do this. We'll say test batch. And what's that going to be? Well, we want to factor test level first, because the batch is going to want to collect list of all levels, set it to a global, set cursor to 0, clear lists of succeeded and failed levels, set testing mode to batch, right? And I'm going to say here, we don't have this idea of a testing mode yet. So here we're going to say set testing mode to individual level, right? So we're going to collect, set it to global, assign, put it into a global, set cursor to 0, clear list of succeeding and failed levels. And start first level. That's what this is going to do. This up here is going to basically just well, the thing is, this doesn't currently load a level, but I guess we should do that. So start, well, level name is copy, what is it called? Well, we can just say copy string, manager.universe, name allocator is temp, and then load and test level name. So load and test level. We're going to say incomplete if batch mode log failure. Right? So at some point before we're done, we're going to search for incomplete in this file. Exit code for tests question mark. I don't know what you mean exit code for tests question mark. You're going to have to ask that question with enough context for me to understand in order to answer. Okay, so now that I've factored this into load and test level, we will need to test this. So restart current level isn't quite what we want now. Whoops. So we get a level set. Okay. I guess we need to make a campaign. We need to make a level set. What a pain in the butt. What a pain in the butt. Well, let's factor it differently then. Because I'm just going to have, well, yeah. We're going to have my test level doesn't really do anything with the level name. So the thing is, we don't want to do anything too heavyweight here. So, yeah. All right, this is fine. And then our batch testing will do the thing. So we need to do this part here. We're going to say testing mode is, let's make this. Batch is 1 and soak is going to be 2, and we're going to say using testing mode. So we say individual level, right? And then here we say testing mode is batch. So we collect a list of all the levels, put that into a global, and so forth. All right, so we're going to have a level set called well. So we have this thing called the level set catalog, which will load a level set off disk. We can say set if not batch level set, which is going to be our global. Batch level set is make placeholder. In the level set catalog, a thing called batch. I mean, this is just, we're just lying about that. I'm just doing this because the game code expects to be able to look things up by campaign name. Now, you know what? Let's change that. Instead of building hack upon hack, we'll change this. So, yeah. No, I guess this is how this is going to work. This is fine. All right, so we make batch level set. So we need to say we get a campaign state, and all right. So this is telling the rest of the game that we're in some level set called batch, but what are the levels going to be? Well, here's what we do. We set cursor to 0. That's what we just did. And list of succeeded and failed levels we're not going to do yet. We just want to get this working. We're going to collect a list of levels. To start first level, we're going to say advance well, all right, advance level. Okay, we do this. So that's going to make us load the thing. So this is just like, look, if we're in batch mode and we loaded a level, well, did I ever make testing mode? I don't think so. All right, so if testing mode well, we call then this test level. Hopefully that's all good. Now I'm sure I've made a number of mistakes at this point. Semicolon expected. Oh yeah. All right. Test level, paren. Oh, this is my test level. I just gotta, this is just a parameter that was carried down. Actually, my test level. We won't percolate that all the way down. All right, great. This still doesn't do enough. So we need to collect a list of all the levels and put it into a global. Put it into that level set, right? So if we go back to the level set that the rest of the game uses, there's an array of level names. And a campaign state. I don't know. Am I supposed to, I guess I'm gonna, all right. Here's what we do. Oh, never mind. This is the right thing. Batch level set dot campaign state is new campaign state. So we don't do this. We do this. All right. Because the game is made to just have this campaign state that's an array of levels, and we're just hooking into that is all we're doing. So we need to put a list of levels in there. For now, I don't even, since I'm doing this one step at a time, I just have to put things in this level names, and I can just hard code it for a minute. I can just say cs.level names, add to that heroes 1, right? 2, 3, 4, and then once this works, we can go and actually read off disk to see what all the tested levels are. All right, so we're going to say incomplete, get actual levels off disk. All right. Now, we got at least one more thing to do, which is when we printed success or failure before, remember this test continued playback routine happens every frame, and if we're done, we're done. But here we're going to go signal test success or signal test failure, and this is going to do different things. Right, so we're only going to stop playback if we're on the individual level. And test maybe proceed is what both of these are going to call. So this just says, this might be too excessive of a factoring, but whatever. Test maybe proceed. Maybe proceed. And maybe proceed is going to go if testing mode is equal to individual level. We stop playback return. Otherwise, we advance level by 1. Well, okay. We need to test to see if we finished the whole batch, and if we did, okay. So we need to say just being sure, because this is new code. Okay, so we get this campaign state, and we say if cs.current level index is greater than or equal to cs.level names.items minus 1, we're done if batch if we're in soak test, I mean, we're far from worrying about soak test, but we'll just say cs.current level index equals -1, bro. Here we're going to say test stop playback return batch complete. All right, so that's what we do. Otherwise, we advance level by 1. I don't know, is that enough for this to start working? Sometimes I do so many things that I lose track of what has to get done. Level names, okay, it's not, it's set.level names. It's not .items, it's .count. Items is what it is in my C++ code base, which is why I do it so much. Who else is saying CS? Give myself a short name. All right, who knows what that's going to do? Probably crash. Okay, I'm hitting Control B and nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. So first of all, the question is the control B even happening? I don't think it is. Maybe it's because control B is like backspace or something. So that we don't have to fight with the thing. Yeah, it's not even. I'm going to write that down. Control B doesn't work. Let's try like Control A or something. Let's restart it. I wanted Control B. Let's try Control A. Control A is just making me go left. This is what happens when your key map stuff is not super. So Control T still works. Yeah. That failed because we weren't at the start of the level. I'm not sure. Well, wait, we used to restart current level, and we don't anymore. Oh, in the test. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we did that. So what? Apparently, a lot of control keys don't work. You know what? I'm just going to say B is the key. Because we don't have anything bound to B. B. What? This is really weird. Why is nothing? Maybe we are calling test batch. Test batch command not known. It's working. It's working. Command not known because I didn't say register commands, right? You got to do that or it's not a command, bro. All right, Control B. Test batch. Okay, it didn't do anything, but it did print test batch. So that's great. We know we're calling this. Why didn't we do anything? Okay, we set batch level set. We are calling advanced level. Oh, we're not setting. So we have a separate currently playing test. We might want to roll that into testing mode. It's a little bit bad form to have a separate Boolean enum. But the external code is checking this right now instead of calling a procedure. So I was like, eh. Okay, that was weird because it tested the current level, which is not what I wanted. It tested the current level. Okay, so first of all, okay, this is so. Here we clearly need to. Oh no, this should be fine, right? Should be fine. Okay, so we need to set this to be the active campaign down here, which we're never doing. I don't remember how to do that. Do switch to campaign. I think that's right. Let's see. There we go. Okay, that crashed, but we got a whole level out. Line 20. level set catalog. Oh, the make placeholder. The whole reason I called it batch. Oh, yeah, the whole reason I called it batch was so we could look it up, but make placeholder doesn't do that. Okay. So we just say table add. So we say table add level set catalog dot table. Okay, so maybe we can find it now. All right, so that's working, but now it's saying fail on the second level. Which means we're probably not resetting enough stuff. So okay, when we signal test success, well, let's just set a breakpoint at the fail and see if we can tell what's going on. Just so we say fail, it's probably here. All right. So we do load the second level. Wait, we didn't. How come this isn't doing anything the second time? All right. Weird. We're going to have to do that. Okay, so we load it. We print success. We maybe proceed. Testing mode is soak. Wait, that's not right. Oh no, we're not. Okay, this is a little bit goofy, but we're not done, right? So obviously, we advance level, we init level general, does all this stuff. That has nothing to do with our testing code. And we go into this, my test level. Here is 1, 2. That's correct. Okay. All right, so let's then set a breakpoint in what happens next frame when we come around to continue playback. Okay. Oh, what? We're still in victory transition mode. Right. We are in victory transition mode because, well, we're not waiting. So when we're testing an individual level, we see the victory transition because we stop testing, right? Here, the victory transition starts, and then we load a new level, but that doesn't reset the victory transition. So the victory transition is just the thing that fades the screen to white. I'm just going to make a reset transition. Well, shouldn't we be in fade in? How does the fade in happen? Start fading in. Well, who calls that? And why don't we? Transition. That's the only place. Okay, well, we're just going to, oh, because it happens after the victory advances level. All right, so all right. Something like that. I'd like that to be a little more robust, but whatever. Hey, look. Isn't that great? Batch complete. Okay. Now, we got to get off disk what all the files are. So we have this thing called visit files. And I'm going to say visit files run now data level tests false null well data is a void, right? So data collect level tests is the proc, right? So we do this and collect level tests has to have arguments, right? Short name is a string, full name is a string, user data is a point to void. I could pass the array in here, but I don't care. Collect. So we're going to visit every file in this folder and call this procedure for every file. And that is just going to say this, assert set. I don't remember if this has the extension on it, so we're just going to see what happens. Oh, assert set is not equal to null. All right, so I did something bad, but come on, tell me my cursor. So short name, okay, so those do have all the extensions. So it's probably just that I didn't get any tests. So let's do that. So after we collect, if set dot what was it? Level names. Then we switch to the campaign, right? Otherwise, we don't do anything because we failed to load anything. All right, so okay, without is going to be strip path extension short name. I don't know. Ignacio wrote that, so let me see if I'm sure what it does. So Control B. Okay, we didn't crash this time. And we did strip the extension. All right, so we got without the extension, and now we're going to say set.level names. We're going to add to that copy string without. All right. And here we go. We're going to get them in arbitrary order. All right, and now to celebrate, because I'm going to presume that this is working well, then we turn on the Easter egg, which is we're going to test batch true, right? Yeah, there's something a little bit wrong in the playback sometimes. Some of the levels fail, so we're going to have to investigate that. Oh, that was a fail. All right, interesting. Huh. Yeah, clones mess it up, and players dying seems to mess it up sometimes. All right. That's pretty good. All right. So, well, did I make any more tests? Whoops. Windows. No. Okay. So there's a couple bugs, but that's what the tests are for. They're to help us figure out what the bugs are. Batch testing mode. So now I added soak mode, and the whole point of soak mode is just to go forever, essentially. And I'm going to test that now by limiting. So you just saw it took like 5 minutes or something to play through all those. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend we can't load more than 5 levels, right? So we're just not going to add any more. So we're going to load like whatever the first 5 are, and then we're going to play those. So what is going to be the key map? How about if we don't bind it to a key? Because a soak test is serious. So test soak is going to be test batch special theme true, just because we do all this stuff. So well, we'll put an else, why not? All right. So I don't remember if I did enough for soak. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one, the thief didn't end up on the right square. There we go. 1, 2. So we should just keep looping through all these forever until someone stops the test. And of course, we can do it with the special theme song. I did it while I was in the middle of the soak test and we don't reset, so we should probably reset the current test. I'm not sure why that didn't happen. But you know, these are minor things. Yeah, I don't know why the thief ends up 1 square off there. That's weird. Oh, it's levels with falling. Right, because like I said, undo and falling are weird right now. So levels with falling probably have issues. Oh yeah, because I'll try to move. Okay. Okay. I think I know what the issue is with falling. It's like I'm trying to issue the move after I fell the first square, but before I've fallen the second square. Something like that. All right, so this is how you test a video game when you're going to ship it on a console, is you just do this for like a week when you come back later. All right. I guess I need a test stop, right, is just going to be this, and that's just going to stop everything. So we're going to say both of these, in case we're recording, in case we're playing, both of those. So I'm going to run the soak, oops, test soak true. And then that's just going, and while that's going, I can go test stop. Of course, we don't stop the music, because why would we? Well, actually, we have a, don't we have a stop? Maybe test stop playback. All right, we'll call that. That's our official hook, right? Because that'll change the music too. Yeah, test soak doesn't start the level over. That's not good. Why don't we? That's so weird. Oh, because it, yeah. Let's call it restart current level here. Because if we were already on the same, so basically if we told it to go to a different level than what we were on, it would restart, otherwise it wouldn't. So, okay, so this is what I want to test. I'm on this level and I want to hit soak. Okay, yeah, it started it over. Forgot to make it play a record scratch. That's advanced functionality. All right. Well, that's sort of everything I wanted to do today. It might be Miller time. maybe I need to host Handmade Hero now. Are there any questions about what happened? Obviously, there's a few things to debug, as I said, but this is great progress. Oh, I was going to record a list of failed and not failed tests. I should do that before we finish the stream and issue a report at the end. Yeah. How about a mode that hits random keys and records them to see if you can break a game? That is a good idea as well. In fact, you could have a mixture that like does the soak test by running the level or going to the level, hitting random keys for a long time, and then going to the next, right? Instead of running the playback, just doing random keys. That wouldn't be a bad idea. YouTube VOD of implementation of this, waiting 24 hours for Twitch affiliate. I don't know what that means. All right. Is this game more easier to make than The Witness? Yes, it is, for sure. Oh, yeah, yeah. Friend at EA told you about this trick, the random key thing you use as part of their soak testing. Totally. Like, when you're trying to ship a game, especially a big, complicated game, you want as much stuff like this as you can get. Because it really helps. It really helps. So in The Witness, for example, we had a test specifically for subtitles for all the recordings that would draw the subtitles on the screen to make sure that they don't go off the edge of the screen. And then you would run that for any particular language that you wanted to test, right? And I never made it like automatically restart in different languages and test all of them, but I probably should have. By the end of development, I was wishing I had done that. So you want things like that. How close would I say I am to shipping this? Pretty far, pretty far. The game is a little ambitious. But we're getting at this point solidly into the middle of development, which is a good time when progress happens. Okay, let us record failures and successes. So batch levels succeeded is the same. Batch levels failed. Whoops, it's an array of string. All right, I'm going to say batch. Okay. All right. Actually, I'm going to say array free. Wow. Mistype. Do I have array free somewhere? Expandable array down to a slice. Right. I'm just going to call it reset it. We're going to be unambiguous. instead of reset and free, let's call it free and reset. Hopefully I didn't do something stupid there. So let's say you had a system like this in the witness. How would you simulate a random puzzle, or even better, an entire series of random puzzles? Well, if you play the speed run in the witness, you'll know, because those puzzles are randomly generated and they have to be solvable or unsolvable in a known fashion. So I test them for solvability, and that is using some process that's not exactly like this, but vaguely similar in character. Would it be a good idea to use some reinforcement learning bot to test, explore the game? I don't know. I mean, that would be a research project that someone could do. I'm not sure. I think for that to be very useful, you would have to clarify ahead of time exactly what your goal is for the reinforcement learning bot. But that said, it might be. So the thing is, the fuzz testing kind of idea from earlier about, hey, have a mode that randomly hits keys and stuff, that's a good idea. The thing about that, though, is that randomly hitting keys is not necessarily that good of a way to test your game, because you very rapidly get stuck in places. Like, randomly hitting keys is not that much like what a player is going to do when they're going to play, so you'll miss a lot of things. Whereas if you trained something on players playing and use that to test the levels, then maybe that is better, right? Shouldn't I use delete array? Not quite the same thing. Or is it? I don't know. What was my delete? Like, this is all new, man. Oh, run destructors. Yeah, I don't care about destructors right now. Okay. What am I doing now? Okay, we are doing this, and then I visit the files. I took out the limit of 5, right? Okay. We switch the campaign. All right, so in maybe, when we call maybe proceed, I'm just looking for it. Nobody says bad. Yeah, I was just looking for a testing mode is equal to batch that I could paste, and it wasn't working. It wasn't worth it. Oh, if testing mode is not equal to individual level. So if we're running soak test, then if we're running soak test, I still want a list of succeeds and fails, but I don't think I want the arrays to grow without bounds, because who knows? So I'm just going to add them if they're not in the arrays. So I'm going to say maybe add, what were they called? Batch levels succeeded. Maybe add level name. Can't type. Maybe add level name. Oh, I accidentally deleted my succeed. Or was it success? We've got a success. I don't know. Whatever. Batch levels failed. All right, so maybe add level name. Is just going to be this. Assert manager is not null if array find return array add a copy string manager.universe name. Okay, so report. We had an incomplete of, well, that's a little verbose, but whatever. All right, so oh, you know, no, it's fine. And when we test stop, we'll issue end of batch report there as well. Okay. So issue end of batch report is the following. Our agent string is just going to be batch log print agent comma we're going to say how many levels succeeded. For internationalization, it's actually better to do this. Level string, but we don't want succeeded. What failed? And then we want to print them. For batch levels failed, log print agent for failed quote name quote new line comma it, right? Okay, now to test all of this, our visit routine, we're going to bring this back. If set.level names.count is greater than 4, return. Because we want to test our batch reporting. All right. Semicolon expected, 365. 380. Of course, because I pasted it. 390. So what happens when you paste something and you screw it up? Wow, so much. Right. 79 levels succeeded, 6 levels failed. That's not a bad ratio. I'm going to paste that into my to-do buffer. And of course, most of these fails are actually, well, it's unclear whether they're things I haven't thought of in the playback system or bugs in the gameplay code. So there we go. That is, that's Miller time right there. That's all I'm saying. One more time. All right. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Let me check and see if Casey's up. I bet he is.
Now, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll switch you over to Handmade Hero now. Yeah, I know the language war has started. See you guys later. I'll do another stream at some point soon.
Process every point. we should be able to do. So if the amount of power that we're taking out is this power value, then how much we would normally take out is just the power times that, right? Like this. But we know that we're not using all the power. So what we're actually doing is we're taking the inverse total weight here, and I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. We're going to need the inverse total weight to normalize our inverse distance squared, and that's going to give us the modification for the power. So we'll take the power. We want to multiply it by our contribution, which is the inverse distance squared, and then normalize by the inverse total weight, right? So this says however much power we were going to use, total, which is just prescribed, however much power we want to remove on a particular sample, we will then use our distance squared as the weighting value, our inverse distance squared as the weighting value. And then we'll effectively divide that by the total weight we know is there. Right. So that way we take the fractional